and then I have another item for discussion.
Good morning.
How are you?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you,
All that
same
good
to you.
stuff. Bear with me for a moment. In the mid-1990s, the Geauga County Commissioners made the decision to centralize and finance a centralized records management program and created the Archives and Records Center. In 2008, up until that time, that thing was under the authority of the county recorder. In 2008, the Records Commission, the Microfilming Board, and the Board of Commissioners of that time entered into an agreement to move responsibility for the Archives and the Records Center out from under the recorder and place it under the Commissioner's hiring authority. And that has been the case until now. On November 27th, the Records Commission and the Microfilming Board each voted to dissolve that agreement. But that's an agreement between three boards. So it kind of threw the ball into your court. Three options were offered: to get rid of the archives entirely, which nobody really wanted to do, to place the archives back under the recorder the way it used to be, or the law gives you an option to dissolve the Records Commission and the Microfilming Board and require the ADP board to take responsibility for the Archives and the Records Center. We have brought a resolution before you to select option 3 if that's what you want to do. If you prefer to put it back under the recorder, that is an option you can take as well. So it's up to you.
So let me ask you, so as far as with ADP, then it would just be a situation where the operation would run pretty much as it is now, and they would basically, the whole board there would just oversee the operation, and then as far as like the hiring and all of that stuff, they also then as a board would be doing that?
Yes, I don't know what they would choose to do. It is my understanding in conversations that everything will stay the same in the archives, except that the person who's the administrator will probably become more of like a director of that function, similar to the way Frank is for the IT function under the ADP board. Obviously, that would be up to the ADP board exactly how they would want to do that. And the language in the resolution gives time for that transition to take place, because our org chart would have to be altered to reflect that those employees would no longer be under the commissioners, but then would be under the ADP board.
Well, that's part of my concern is the employees. I think more than anything about who, because those are two separate boards, just to be clear, correct? There's two separate boards.
Currently, there's the Records Commission.
Yeah.
And there's the Microfilming Board.
So in theory, they're supposed to be acting, independently. I know that they like to wrap that up into one big meeting, I think, but
Because it's the same people on both boards, almost the same.
boards, yeah.
But as far as technically, like, for example, the Planning Commission, like Linda is the director, that is a separate entity from the county commissioners as far as their hiring. That board controls her salary, her classification, her hiring and firing, all that.
Yes.
My concern is if we do this, dissolve this, and it goes to ADP, that how many employees are in archives right? Is it 3 right now? 5?
Yes.
Okay. That they remain as classified employees.
That was my concern too.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding that the current setup for the ADP IT employees is that their director is unclassified, just like what we do, and the rest are classified. It's my understanding the intention would be that it would be a similar setup for the archives people.
Yeah, because
the director might become unclassified, but the other employees would remain classified.
Yeah.
And we were intending to make a move like that anyway, to pull archives out from under the commissioners and make them a separate department this year.
Yeah.
So I think that was...
Because my concern would be if they think there's going to be some kind of like major shift in the way things work, and they're going to, look to get rid of employees or something along those lines, which I hope they don't seek to do because they can't afford to. But if they do go that route, they're going to be searching out a major lawsuit.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's my understanding the intention is to keep all the employees exactly the same.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it as long as, I don't, as long as it's done correctly, legally, and that we are not harming current employees with this move, because it's not any detriment to them or, you know, any knock on their performance or anything. So as long as those three things are in line, I'm fine with moving forward with moving that towards ADP.
The resolution does cite the ORC that gives this board the authority to basically get rid of the Records
Do
Commission.
you have that ORC?
She's got it.
Yeah.
And the microfilming board.
Can I hear that? Just
And
real quick?
require ADP. Well, the language is in there.
Okay.
It says per ORC 307.845, the county commissioners may require the county automatic data processing board to coordinate the management of information resources of the county in lieu of having a county records commission and a county microfilming board.
Okay.
So it's 307.847.
So I guess let me ask you a couple questions on the, so you were the director of archives for a lot of years, and you did a phenomenal job, and we appreciate you coming back too and kind of,
Yeah.
you know, taking the bull by the horns
I
after the
appreciate
move.
being here. Thank you.
But with that being said, so in some of these other counties, this happens. This is like what also is done.
Different counties do it in different ways.
Okay.
There are at least 15 other counties in the state of Ohio where the commissioners have authority over the centralized records management
I
of the
see.
county. There are counties, there's a county that, I think it's Hamilton County, the clerk of courts is in charge of the record center. But there are a lot of counties that do not do centralized records management, and every elected official is kind of on their own to manage their records properly. I personally think that the way Geauga County does it is the way it should be done, because it's a specialized body of knowledge. It's not hard, but it's specialized, and why would you have to have somebody in every single
That
department?
way it's
knowing?
consistent too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have one person who knows it and does it for everybody. I personally think that is a good way to go.
And with this, not that we're not risking that changing, correct?
I cannot make promises for what other people will do. Based on discussions that I have been a part of, it is my understanding the intention is to keep everything pretty much as it
I
is.
see.
I mean, there must have been a catalyst to go this direction. Now, I haven't sat in on these meetings. It sounds as though Commissioner Dvorak is the representative for these, he sits on that board,
I
correct?
believe he was the catalyst for
For this move.
this move.
Okay, and I'm not sure the reason behind it, you know, I don't know if there's, you know, frustration with the way it's been, or why the change? I don't, do you have any insight on that, or?
You probably have to ask Commissioner Dvorak why
Okay.
he would felt so strongly about it.
Okay.
But he had, what he said to me
And-
was that it was something that he had wanted to do from the time that he took office. What he said to me was he was concerned that the management was not going the way it should, why that should result in pulling them out from under you.
Yeah. Well, I think there's been a lot of misplaced blame on, because I think you've done a very good job there for a long time, since I've been here, and obviously with the new director there, and when you were there. So I think there was a lot of, you know, dumping, you know, one's work on somebody else to do it, and then complaining that it wasn't getting done in time, when it was really up to you or your staff to be preparing it for retention. It's the way, what I've heard. Now, I may be wrong, you know, I'm not involved in it day to day, but, so, I'm not sure
Yeah.
you know, it's, you know, to step over a dollar to pick up a nickel doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, or what are we going through these gyrations for? Like, you know?
Well, these boards have acted.
Yeah.
And because they've acted, then your board needs to respond to the actions that they've taken.
Okay.
So-
I see.
So you are abolishing those two boards and requiring, as the law allows you to do, to have the ADP board take over responsibility for that function. I have assured the staff and people from that office that as long as I'm here, I'm available to help in any way I can. I can tell you that I know for a fact that in that part of the county, Karen is well respected and well liked, and so I'm sure that as she grows in the job, everything will continue to run the way it should.
Okay. And again, just to put it out there, that, you know, the classification of the employees needs to remain.
This
My
also-
understanding is that that's the way it will go.
This also does add 2 members to the ADP board, 2 elected officials. Actually, in the Ohio Revised Code, it adds 4, but the prosecutor and the engineer are already on that board, so it doesn't add them again. But it does also add the coroner and a judge from the common police court.
Oh, good. Okay.
Just so that we would feel more assured that there would be a little more oversight then.
Just that, yeah, there's at least 2 other people that could, be part of this process.
Okay, because they're involved in it.
Yeah, that's just, under the Ohio Revised Code, if you put this under ADP, those individuals get added, those elected officials get added to the board.
Okay.
Because I resonate the same thing that Ken was saying. My concern is I don't want to see people losing their jobs. And it sounds like these discussions have already been made and that's not the case because, we have had such a difficult time to keep that part of our operation with good quality people. And we have good quality people that it's taken a long time to get, right? 12 years that I've been dealing with this, that's a difficult spot to fill, because you have to find that niche person. So
You are so right. It takes a certain mindset
Yeah.
to love putting boxes where they should be and be able to find them
Yeah.
when you want them.
Right.
it is, and it also takes somebody that's, very, very, attention to detail, because it's a critical job.
Yes, it
Because
is.
at the end of the day, when we get called 30 years from now on these records, we need to make sure that they're there and that they were scanned correctly and, and that's one of the reasons that we haven't gone outside as much to get those services because you tested it many times and found a lot of flaws. And so,
I
yeah.
feel 100% confident that Karen will have this thing well in hand, well into the future.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to read the resolution?
Resolution by the Jog County Commissioners to require the County Automatic Data Processing Board to coordinate the management of information resources of the county in lieu of having a County Records Commission and a County Microfilm Board. Whereas a joint effort by the Commissioners, the Microfilm Board, and the Records Commission in 1990 created the Jog County Archives and in 1996 established the Jog County Archives and Records Center to house and manage county records. And whereas the Commissioners, the Records Commission, and the Microfilming Board adopted an agreement on November 18, 2008, whereby the Jog County Commissioners became responsible to staff and oversee all document organization, storage, and disposal of the Jog County Archives and Records Center. And whereas the Jog County Records Commission and the Jog County Microfilming Board have passed resolutions declaring the 2008 agreement null and void. Whereas per ORC 307.847, the County Commissioners may require the County Automatic Data Processing Board to coordinate the management of information resources of the county in lieu of having a Records Commission and a County Microfilming Board. Now therefore be it resolved that the Jog County Board of Commissioners hereby requires the County Automatic Data Processing Board to coordinate the management of information resources of the county in lieu of having a County Records Commission and a County Microfilming Board per ORC 307.847, and hereby specifies that the County Records Commission and the County Microfilming Board no longer exist effective January 1st, 2024, and that the Automatic Data Processing Board shall employ all such persons as it deems necessary for the operation of document organization, storage, and disposal for all county offices and departments, and shall oversee operations of the Jog County Archives and Records Center henceforth. Be it further resolved that throughout 2024, all equipment, records, files, effects, and other personal property, contractual obligations, and assets and liabilities of the Jog County Board of Commissioners pertaining to the Archives and Records Center shall be transferred to the County Automatic Data Processing Board. Be it further resolved that this resolution becomes part of the permanent record of the Board of County Commissioners, Jog County, Ohio.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
And just thinking as you're reading, as far as, we're very familiar with the annual budget of that, those 2 offices now, or departments now. What, going forward, I guess they would have to reevaluate and see what their budget's going to be, but is there,
That budget is typically about $250,000 a year, or it used to be.
I think it's a little more than
I
that.
think it's a little more than that.
Okay, well, it was a while ago.
Yeah, that's with the new contracts for microfilm and things like that. that's
Right.
kinda- But yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, so the idea would be, that would be into the budget for ADP.
We consulted with Adrian about the timing, and that's why it is worded the way it is, because it's more of a process than an event
Okay.
in terms of that transfer, because there are things left over to be paid from last year and those kinds of things, and so we made the language purposely vague in terms of, in pertaining to the timing of things, but obviously we'll have to consult with the auditor's office about exactly how that moving of that chunk of the commissioner's budget will take place.
Okay.
And we'll keep you in the loop on that if you want us to.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Yep,
definitely.
thank you.
No, thank you. Is there anything else that you have?